Hello, everybody. So here we are at our usual meeting and the last of the year to talk about 2025 transits. So the new year will feature many major shifts because many planets are moving into different signs. And so it will be a year that really will see a lot of changes, a lot of new ways to be worked. So let's begin with Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet that everybody's waiting for because it brings luck, abundance, a sense of, oh, I'm growing, I'm improving myself, I'm finding something that is more meaningful to me. I'm attracting and magnetizing all what I desire. So Gemini people, Gemini friends, maybe you can relate to what I'm talking about because currently, Jupiter is transiting Gemini, and it will be until the 9th of June. On that date, Jupiter will move into Cancer. So, Cancer friends, it will be your time. So, from the 9th of June, we will have, at a global level, this emphasis more on finding nourishment deep within ourselves. Home, the sense of home will be very, very important. To have a place where we feel really rooted, to have a place and people where we feel we can belong. And we will be able to get more in touch with our inner world because now and until June, Jupiter in Gemini is really putting a strong emphasis on relationships, on communicating, on transmitting informations, making life as an adventure with many experiences, with many exchanges with different people, different cultures, different situations, experiencing our capacity of being a chameleon. So really like an actor, experiencing different parts of ourselves. But when Jupiter moves in Cancer on the 9th of June, we will be more prone to go inward and listen to what is really nurturing me. What do I really need? What are my real needs? Not the ones that are induced from the society around us. So home, inner world, the realm of the images, of our inner images that will really ask us to be found and connected to. And the Cancer people will have a year until July 2026, where they can really begin to manifest their dreams and grounding them into reality. So good luck for all the Cancer people from June on. But let's see now Saturn. Saturn has been transiting Pisces in the last couple of years, and it will be almost other 6 months of this transit, because on the 25th of May, Saturn will enter Aries. So all the people that are born at the beginning of Aries and the cardinal signs, so Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, will have Saturn starting to hitting their sun. So we know that Saturn is always, unfortunately, treated as the bad guy that is really putting a lot of obstacles and pain and frustration and pressure on our paths. But Saturn doesn't enjoy really just limiting us. It's really a master, it's a teacher. So actually, it's how we respond to things that makes a lot of difference. So if you really want to navigate this Saturn transit in the best of ways, you really have to look at what Saturn brings on your path as an opportunity for growth, for course correcting. Maybe this obstacle, this delay, this thing that is not manifesting as you would like to, is not something that you are a victim of, that you have to complain about, but it's an opportunity. Because maybe if that thing it's not happening, maybe there's another gift behind it. another portal that can open. And if you course correct, if you reevaluate, re-examine all the different facets of the situation, you can really see that maybe it was not meant to be that way. It really needed still something that had to be taken care of. But Saturn will not stay permanently in Aries in 2025 because at the beginning of September it will become retrograde and it will slide back into Pisces until February 2026, where it will stay permanently in Aries. So again, it's very important that you slow down, and especially these people, if you have the sun or important planets in your birth charts in one of these at the beginning of these four cardinal signs, so Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, that you really make a deep cleaning in your life, cut off all the distractions, everything that is superfluous, everything that is not really aligned with who you are. Saturn likes the Zen vision. So not many objects, not many things, not many situations, not many people, but just two or three. And just choosing carefully. And just focusing yourself on what really matters for you, what really matters to you. It's cleaning the vision. It's really stopping, dissociating ourselves and going straight to the point. It's a matter of growth and wisdom because Saturn is the inner teacher, is the inner master. Yes, it's also the one that judges, that limits, that blocks, that slows down sometimes. When we want to go for it, we have to, oh no, I can't in this moment. Why? Because I have to think more carefully what I'm doing. Maybe I have to reconnect to my real intentions about the direction I'm moving forward. So Saturn is also in Aries, is really grounding our strength, finding the discipline in our way of acting, of beginning things, of also directing our fire in a very precise and focused way. And there is another planet that is moving into Aries, but that is much more of a shift because Saturn changes sign every 2.5 years, but Neptune has a cycle of 14 years. So Neptune is ending its transit in its sign, which was Pisces, and on the 30th of March, it will go into Aries. But then, from July until end of October, it will slide back for the last time into Pisces, only at the 29th degree. And on the 26th of January, my birthday, 2026, it will move permanently for the next 14 years in Aries. This is a huge one. And I guess that people on the mutable signs can really relate to this Neptune transit. So the people that were born at the end of Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius have really this strong Neptunian transit. What is Neptune about? About getting lost. Sometimes I know that it's a famous sentence, but we have to get lost in order to find ourselves. So when we have this strong Neptune transit, we really don't know which direction to go. What should I choose? Where should I go? Do I really want that or not? Also, it can cause a bit of depression, of sadness, of a lot of emotional stuff that is coming up to the surface. We can be prone to illusions, to see things that don't exist, and maybe getting into paranoia or really into some thoughts that are not functional, that are not useful for us. We can have our perception that are distorted. So it's really important, especially for these four signs, because on the main points on the birth chart that are hit by Neptune, the cycle is 3 years more or less. So it's not a quick transit like the two I talked before. So it's really a process of coming to terms with our emotions, with accepting the lack of direction. And Neptune is really inviting us to surrender, to let go of control, to try to plan things, to manipulate situations around us. It's really about, okay, you know what? I don't know where to go. So I just stay there in the middle of the storm of life sometimes. On my boat, I just lay down and I just allow myself to be brought by the currents. Wherever I have to go, I surrender to God. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, is the unconditional love, is the divine energy within us. So it's really about, I trust that up there is a force, a God, a goddess, nature, the universe, call it whatever you want. It's always the same thing, that has a great wisdom, that knows what I need, that knows where I'm headed to. And is really conspiring, like Paulo Coelho was saying in The Alchemist, conspiring in order to allow me to get what I want. But for this, I have to step aside and really to allow myself to be a vessel, to be a channel where the divine force can pass through me and manifest what is right for me in this time, in this moment. So it's a lot about surrender. It's a lot about opening the heart also and trusting our heart and not repressing emotions, but really being able to see what are the emotions that are bottled up within ourselves and then can maybe express themselves through illnesses or diseases. Pisces, which is the sign ruled by Neptune, is connected to psychosomatic, so to this combination between body and mind. So it's really inviting us to do this. But also Neptune, that is so spiritual, entering into Aries, it's really opening a chapter of grounding spirituality more into the reality through action. So we cannot only talk about spirituality, but we really need to act accordingly in our lives. How we begin things, how we start. It has to be connected with the divine part inside of us. That's very, very important. And then the other very important shift is Uranus. Uranus is changing sign after 7 years in Taurus, and I guess the Taurus, the fixed signs, so Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius people, especially the last decade of these four signs in the last year, were touched by Uranus that disrupted a lot of things. Uranus, is the Shiva, is the one that destroys. It's the tarot of the tower that really breaks everything in order to rebuild something stronger and more aligned with our versions of ourselves. So Uranus is entering Gemini on the 7th of July. But then in September, between September and the 8th of November, it will still slide back into Taurus for the last touch until April 26, where it will stay permanently for the next 7 years, more or less, in Gemini. So a lot of change in 2025 and also 2026 for the beginning of the mutable signs. So Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Uranus energy is very disruptive and sudden, and it's difficult to predict what it will bring. But I can tell you something for certain, that the more you try to resist the change, the worst can be this transit for you. So you can really enjoy it if you approach it with this um, sense of, oh, I am on a roller coaster. Let's see what this can bring to me. Wow, things are suddenly changing. So I'm enjoying it. I'm open to the infinite possibilities. So that's the best way to approach Uranus, actually. But if we resist, we try to hold tight to what we have, to the structures that we have built, which are, by the way, Saturn in our birth chart, it will be very difficult. So change is coming, guys. Change is coming, friends of these four signs. Accept it, embrace it, and really make space for this change. It's time to go past our fears and really trust the universe and its intelligence, because Uranus is a lot about there are stagnant things in our lives, and Uranus doesn't want them anymore. Uranus wants freedom. Uranus wants to break free from the limiting beliefs, from the limiting situations we are in. So it's okay, I am open. I am open to cooperate to bring this change into my life, consciously. I agree to that. Uranus is also about this overexcitement. Sometimes there is, so these four signs at the beginning of these four signs could also experience the nervous system that is hyperactivated. Maybe it's difficult to sleep, or we have a lot of ideas, light bulbs that are on every moment, with many ideas that actually Uranus is the higher mind, the higher octave of Mercury. So we can channel, we can download a lot of ideas that we can really use and harvest to ground our dreams. Uranus dreams big. There is no limit. I can't accept any limit. I want to fight the system. I want to rebel. I want to go against people that are trying to limit me or to dominate me or to manipulate me or to own me. It's really embracing this freedom and this uniqueness also. So something that will be asked to these four signs and also to all of us, because Gemini is about change, is really being able to accept this willingness of experiencing this different part of ourselves, different parts of ourselves. Being like a chameleon that changes role very often, that is not really fixed and set in only one role. It's about communication. A big change in communication is happening with Uranus in Gemini, and I guess that it also has to do a lot with what Pluto in Aquarius, I've talked about it many times, started about the AI, about this really, really accelerated process of technology controlling us, but also helping us out a lot. So also Gemini is connected to the media, communication. So there will be a strong acceleration on this AI thing and this digital communication also. And we have the last one, that is Pluto, which I'm not talking too long about because I made a whole video about it. That is in Aquarius, that started a new era. A new era. I talked about it, but for those who didn't watch my Pluto video, I just mentioned that Pluto has a cycle of 248 years. So the last time it was in Aquarius, it was a time where actually Pluto hadn't been discovered yet, because it was discovered in 1930. So last time it was not known, but it brought so many changes: the Industrial Revolution, the American and French revolutions. So a lot of wars, a lot of rebelling against governments. And we are witnessing many terrible wars in this moment, many changes also regarding governments and the systems of power in the world. So that's the huge thing. But Pluto is impacting, especially now, the people born at the end of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn can say, okay, whew, now I can get off this Pluto energy, because the last years, I guess, who was born at the end of these four signs had a rough time, because Pluto is really death and rebirth. So now the people that are being impacted by Pluto for many years, because Pluto has a really impacting singular points in the birth chart for 3-4 years, up to 5 actually, are the fixed signs. So Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. So these four signs, who was born at the beginning of these four signs, or have important planets placements in this area, let's say, is really wow. It's a lot about dying and being reborn in a new form. Pluto is connected to the Phoenix Arab, to the phoenix, to the mythological bird that dies and it's reborn from its ashes. It's really about disidentifying ourselves from what we thought we were. It's about allowing all the dark material that normally we project outside, pointing it out into other people, pointing our fingers out there, because we can't accept that shadow, because it's too strong, it's too difficult, it's too painful to see it. But these four signs have to come to terms with their dark stuff and really embrace the shadow, embrace the power that is intrinsic in the shadow. Pluto will arrive at maximum the 3rd degree of Aquarius, actually. So really the first 3 degrees. And then in May, it will go retrograde until October 2025. And then it will go direct again and go forward. So Pluto in Aquarius, new ways of co-creating together. Aquarius is connected to groups, to communities. So there will be a strong change in how we relate, co-create with others, new kinds of families also, enlarged, different ways of families. The group trauma that will be brought to the surface, the capacity to really embrace freedom from our deep power within. I don't want to say too much about it, because there's a whole video, as I said, about Pluto. And let's have a look at the last very important shift that we are going to have, which is the shift of the moon nodes. The moon nodes are the Dharma Karma points. For those who don't know it, we have the South Node, which represents the karma, and in our birth charts, it says a lot about where we're coming from, our past mistakes, what we are trying to fix in this life. While the North Node is the Dharma, is the destination of our current journey, is where we are headed to, where we decided to go to. So in the last 1.5 years, these moon nodes that are very connected to our journey of the soul was in Aries, Libra, with the South Node in Libra and the North Node in Aries. So the issue here was stepping out of codependency and symbiosis in relationships, stopping using the other as a crutch, and really being able to live relationships like two separate individuals that are joining, that are accompanying each other in the path, but that are not using the other as a crutch. So two empowered individuals. embracing this autonomy, this capacity to focus on oneself. Now, not now, but exactly the 13th of January, for those who are using the true notes, for those who are using the min notes, it's the end of January, but it doesn't change that much. So we will have this axis of the moon nodes that are moving into Pisces, Virgo. So North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. So here again is about letting go of Virgo and the shadow of Virgo, which is control, keeping people distance because I'm afraid of intimacy. I'm afraid of showing myself in my full vulnerability. Judgment, really this sense of failure of I am broken. I need to fix myself. I need to be better. I need to do, perform. This is what we have to let go of. And the North Node in Pisces is about letting go of control, surrender. It's about, I want to discover how it is to be in intimacy with another person. I want to feel this intimacy. I want to show myself and accept the other in its and my full vulnerability. And see that vulnerability is not a weakness, but is a strength that actually can really take the relationship at a much deeper level. I can connect with myself more. It's also about I accept myself as I am. I'm not broken. There's nothing to fix in me. I love myself. I accept myself. I forgive myself. I forgive the others. I stop judging people and I just see that everyone, me included, is an expression of divine love. So it's about an heart opening. It's a lot about accepting ourselves, other people, getting into, this acceptance. I say it again, acceptance, without fighting, without controlling. Yeah, and then in February, this North Node will conjunct Neptune. So in February, we will have a strong emphasis on what I just talked about, because it's Pisces, the North Node conjunct the ruler of Pisces. So it will be really a month where it will be important to work on this heart opening and this capacity to meet the other at a deeper level, without masks, without power plays, power games, power struggles, and just meet there in full vulnerability and nakedness. It's also about another thing that I want to say about this shift is that we really are asked also to stop trusting our minds and trusting more our feelings. It's about going from the rational to the irrational world. It's about being able to trust our emotions and to work constructively with our emotions. Yeah, and just to add a couple of things that are minor for my vision, it's Chiron and Lilith. Lilith in January is moving into Scorpio, so it's most powerful placement. So there will be some pulsions and really strong emotions that can come up, dark stuff that needs to be released also. And Chiron is very slow in Aries, so it's still there. Nothing changes about Chiron. It starts the year at 19 degrees of Aries, and in May it will be at 25 degrees of Aries. So impacting more the third decade of Aries, and bringing up the wounds and really our also capacity to feel that we are allowed to exist. We can step into our power. We can reclaim our birthright, which is, I am here. I occupy a space in this world. I don't hide. I really claim it back and give myself a pat. And yeah, and willing to fight for my full expression. So I hope that this was a useful guide for you to navigate 2025 in the best of ways. And I want to tell you that as I'm doing for my Italian community, also for my English speaking community, I want to offer a €50 discount on the astrology readings. So if you want to know your personalized transits for 2025 and see really what's in store from you, not in terms of forecasts, but really about what is happening on your birth chart. Where are you compared to your birth chart from when you were born, with the progression style and the solar return, which is the birthday to birthday chart? You can connect to me at info@aldebaransadream.com and we can schedule our session on Zoom, where I will video record everything and send you, because it's a lot of stuff to metabolize and digest. So it's really useful to have the recording to being able to listen to it several times. So thank you so much for your trust, for your presence here on the YouTube channel. And I wish you a wonderful closure of 2024 and a sparkling beginning of 2025. Goodbye.